Allie, as soon as they have a children's Prog, you can read it, which will, given how this is operating, it'll be like next week. All right, let me see. Are we live? Hey,
Oh
there we
my
are.
God.
Hold on. Let me before you start flapping your dick trap, let me share it.
Well, I mean, that has already went up.
Allie,
So
as soon as
they know that we're about to flap our dick traps.
all right, hold on.
Guess
Eh,
what?
what?
I'm recording you.
I
Uh-oh.
know.
Holy shit.
We're just leave the money on the dresser when you leave.
You
All right,
watching now. That's probably me and you.
the lonely fans.
All right. I'm going in.
Not the first time you said that today.
For watching now. Hey, Jimmy Bowes here, and he said wiener. That means we can go ahead and start. What's up, dark judges, desperados, and dudes in dick-shaped helmets? You're listening to Cursed Earth Radio, the one and only podcast bringing dread to the dreadless.
Broadcasting outside the walls of Mega City 1 across the Black Atlantic in North America. I'm Cool Johnny Cool.
And this is Heavy Metal Kid, and it's the new year, and we've got our very, very first episode about the very first Prog, which Johnny means we are not behind one bit in the
We're
new
not.
year.
It may
It's
be a new year,
impossible.
but it's the same dumb us. And we're doing Prog 2263. We get the start of Judge Dredd Working Girl, Proteus Beck's Desire Paths Part 2. The order is definitely in the middle of this book. Kingmaker Falls the Shadow. I had forgot about this one since the last time we did this. And holy shit, what happened in the out?
Oh, man. Hey, it's almost like it feels pretty good, Johnny, to put up our first episode of the new year and immediately have two individuals in the chat who were apparently either really super bored or actually waiting for the new episode of Cursed Earth Radio. That's a good way to start.
They are online for online dating and found themselves here.
Well, Jimmy and Chelsea, your relationship starts today. Those are the two people in the chat who have identified themselves. And then there's maybe some more people lurking in the shadows. I don't know.
Always people lurking in the shadows.
So what's going on with the 2000 AD news? I've heard nothing.
Well, I got one for you. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. It is a mutual shared interest in things that I know you love. I gotta find it. I don't. Did you look at any of the Judge Dredd groups today?
I have not looked at any Judge Dredd groups today.
Fantastic. So you haven't seen this.
Hey, we also got it's Jim Boswell that's here. He has he has a secret name. Well, I mean, it's not secret. It's Jimmy Bose. I guess I'm just an idiot.
You did it.
Well, we're about to talk about how great your work is, Jim. So stick around and strap in.
So somebody linked this to the Judge Dredd Miniatures game group on Facebook. A person from a French message board 3D printed their own fatty for the Warlords game, and you're going to love it. It's Weird Al from the Fat video.
Oh, what a brilliant individual. Oh my gosh.
It's amazing. It's one of one, and my God, it is amazing. So everybody go over to the Judge Dredd unofficial miniatures game group and check out the glorious Who's Fat Fatty.
That's awesome, man. You know I love a good fatty. I wish we had more fatties for that game. There's a good selection.
Well, apparently they're out there just 3D printing them. You can get your own custom fatty. You could get you as a fatty.
I mean, just get me. I would just get me.
You're not. You're a lightweight, but you got a long way to go.
I'm no Bub Jelly Belly Jones, but
none of us are. We can only aspire and perspire and possibly expire, given the undertaking. Hey, tell everybody about your big goofy cabinet we finally got working.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because actually, we kept the Judge Dredd crew in the mix for this for a little while. So what? It's been about a year since you and I posted a video.
Over a year.
I went to a laundromat in Maryland to pick up what I could only see in some fuzzy Facebook marketplace photos. Looked like some sort of Judge Dredd arcade cabinet. Of course, when I got there, we found that it was the Acclaim Judge Dredd shooter. It was water damaged. It was old looking. It looked like a laundromat video game.
It was perfect.
We paid this nice man $400, brought it home, and plugged it in, and it didn't work. So then
to nobody's surprise.
To nobody's surprise. No. Then you and your friend Blaine came over. We opened it up, and it was a nightmare inside.
Also, my friend Blake.
Yes, I'm sorry, your friend Blake, who I've known for years. Yes, your friend Blake. But I think when we opened it up, we scared him away because he never came back to work on it.
He's like that, unfortunately. He commits to a project, and then it's really hard to get him to continue said project. He was going to rewire our band van, and we were going to put in drop down LCD monitors with, a ROM box in there so we could play shit on the way, do all this stuff. And none of that has happened. So
right.
The same amount of effort went into that went into your cabinet.
I mean, you can't blame the man for running away from this project, but I did manage to find somebody. Shout out to my friend Steve, who came out and looked inside of it. And without even a shrug or a shudder, he said, "Oh yeah, we'll get this thing working." And he took some parts, disappeared for a little while, and came back. And upon his last session working on it, it actually works. One gun works. He took another gun, and he's already sending me these 3D printed models of lawgivers. And he's like, "Hey, just so you know, we can turn these into your guns." So
that'd be pretty cool.
Oh man. So my next goal is to get some side art. Unfortunately, we can't find high resolution scans of the original side stickers. Then it's the big chunky Bisley guy. But my thought is, I don't really want it to look like the original. Like, I don't care if it looks like the arcade original. I just want cool side art. So that makes my life a whole lot easier. And I'm just like, I'll find some side art that's in high res. We'll put it up there. I know, I think you told me at some point your place of employment could probably do it, albeit at a very expensive price. But you know what? I don't care because it's going to be cool.
And I know a guy that could probably fab up the art. And, I also know a guy that could probably install it. That guy is not me that I'm alluding to in that second part, but we have an installer that I could probably get talked into coming down and sticking it for you and making it look nice.
Man. That would be great. So,
have you played it yet?
I have, I've played it, and it's really fun. It's like, I was, I think, shocked how awesome the video in between like each level is, because it's, full motion video, like Sega CD style. But I'm pretty sure that I heard that was actually Simon Bisley in that costume, in that Dredd costume, playing Dredd for those videos. And I could be wrong. But I think at some point I saw, or maybe he did it for a fan film or something. No, I'm sorry. It's Greg Staples, and Greg Staples was Dredd in the 5-second clip when he was Judge Minty. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But
the live action cutscenes are the best part of that game. I have the PlayStation port. I've had it for years. It is abysmal and god awful, especially if you don't have a gun con to play it with. Yeah. So you've got the advantage over me where you can actually use the gun. But no, the cutscenes are awesome. The Dredd costume looks great. Yeah. I'm kind of bummed we didn't get a movie with that costume.
Oh my God. But for sure.
Now what you have to do is go get the prototype cabinet for the 3D rendered Dredd side-scrolling brawler that Acclaim did, that there's only like 5 of in the world.
Yeah. Oh man, I've seen some nice ones too.
There's one in Chicago right
now.
Is
it really?
Yeah.
Wow. For sale, or just that you can
No, it's at this arcade, a real famous arcade in Chicago. I'm sure what the $1 Million Man says, man. Everybody's got a price. Everything's for sale, man.
I will tell you. So my sad tale, which will by the end of it here, it'll be a tale of hope. When at the beginning of this whole pandemic, when the hospital that I worked at shut down, my plan, I was actively looking for the Judge Dredd pinball machine, because that is, to me, the ultimate, Judge Dredd memorabilia that I want to have in my house. And I found one. It was, $4,000. I was going to have it delivered, and I was totally ready. And then, of course, lo and behold, I lost my job and went back to school and was on unemployment for a while. And So, that got put on the back burner, as did maybe even more crushing. I was prepared to purchase like the Judge Kraken artwork that I have tattooed on my arm, the Carlos artwork.
Yeah.
And of course, like a week after, the guy finally messaged me and said, okay, if you still want it, here it comes. And I had to turn that down too. So it was heartbreak. It was insanity. But mid-pandemic, that $400, shitty Judge Dredd machine popped up. And I remember like, I was super bummed anyway. And I told my wife, I was like, I need $400. She was like, oh God, why? We're unemployed. And I said, there's a Judge Dredd arcade game. And she just knew. She looked at me and she's like, I get it. I get it. I know why. I understand. So we went and picked it up. That got me through. Now I have a job again. I'm back at it. And there happens to be a Judge Dredd arcade, a Judge Dredd pinball machine for sale in Pittsburgh, which is an hour and 30 minutes away from us. I'm not ready to buy it yet, but I know that it's there, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be there for a little while. So,
well, say the word, and I will jump in the van.
Oh man, yes.
And it was nice of that one guy to buy your RoboCop arcade machine to make room for that Judge Dredd arcade machine.
I mean, I think it was those transactions. I think it was almost meant to be that I happen to have a co-host who is also a big fan of RoboCop and was ready to buy it. And I don't even remember at the time what I was selling it for. There was a reason.
It to me for what you paid for it, because you said you look like a sad dork that needs some joy in his life.
Yeah. No, I don't remember though what I was buying at the time. It was probably a guitar, but yeah, I know.
Oh no, you went up to get a Kramer, and
that's right. Okay.
You went, I'm gonna buy this, and I saw it when you brought it home, and you're holding that in escrow for me, right? And sure enough, we started doing the podcast, and I saw it like every week. And I will buy that, and I bought it during pandemic when I was furloughed. I was like, screw it, we're doing this.
Yeah, I mean, money can't buy happiness, but actually it can.
That's sure as shit can. It's buy your dreams, kids. Buy your dreams. And I saw that link you sent me today from Middle of Beyond. My dad actually got me the Ghostbusters flannel for Christmas.
Yeah,
but I do want that RoboCop flannel.
Oh my gosh,
I get it.
So with all of that out of the way, we this Prog got me. This Prog really got me.
It's Proteus Vex and a hot dog man flavored water.
Oh my God.
On the cover. I really cannot wait to sit down with Jim, Jake, and Michael. And I just want to know, did Jake have free reign to design these nightmarish hot dog headed men? Or did Michael say, I want hot dog headed villains? And Jake went, okay. I
like to think that maybe just week after week of subliminally hearing the word wiener.
What do you mean subliminally hearing the? It's not like we're putting it on the down low.
Well, actually, that when we were editing these podcasts before it was live, I was putting a low track of just the word wiener over and over, just below audible human hearing.
Well, now that cat's out of the bag, wait till people start playing the podcast backwards to hear all the backmasking we've been doing for 2 years.
Oh my God. No, but this cover is, if anything, it's going to certainly turn some heads, because there's just, I thought seeing this cover that what it was going to be, that there were going to be 5 of them and they were going to be like the Finger Boys, the
That's
5.
A whole different story, sir.
Yeah.
And I don't think one we can read on the podcast at all.
But hey, did you notice in Thrills of the Future, they've got Hershey and she looks old as fuck.
It better not be too far in the future, because it don't look like she's going to make it too far into the future.
I just appreciate a Hershey that I can
identify
who she is, and she doesn't look like a porn star.
It was this time last year where you had damn near had a stroke.
Which time?
Which time? You didn't know shit. That one, my number one favorite rant. Speaking of which, you need to get Chelsea that episode, because I told her about it, and it doesn't exist. It's down.
Oh yeah.
And it is absolutely like, if I had to encapsulate our podcast and do the Cliff Notes version of it and give it to somebody, it's that episode.
That is probably one that really never needs to be down. So yeah, I know that maybe I'll try to find, if you can remember which one it is, maybe I can try to get that uploaded to the old YouTube at some point, or
it'd
at least
be January 2021.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You shit your biscuits, and it was amazing. You turned 8 shades of red. It was fantastic.
Oh my God. Here we are in the new Judge Dredd with Ken Neiman, Patrick Goddard, Dylan Teague, and Ann Parkhouse.
We've been here before, right? Is this the same courier from the last story we visited?
I'm glad that you said that, because I was reading this and I was like, God, this feels familiar. It felt so familiar that I actually double checked to make sure I was reading the right issue.
I'm too lazy to go back and find the Prog with that story, but you know the one I'm talking about, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it's the same courier, but I'm going to say it is. Prove me wrong, internet world. It's real easy to do. It happens every week.
Yeah. I don't remember it honestly if it was even like a male or female in that story. So
she had a baby. She had the baby with her the last time.
Okay, so this has got to be the same lady. But yeah, as I'm reading this, I'm just going like my entire thought the whole way through was just, this has to be the same fucking person that we read about. So yeah, I'd say we're pretty I'd say we could pretty much bet on the fact that this is the same person. Yeah.
I guarantee you, I'm going to look at our Facebook page tomorrow once most of our UK contingent who are sleeping through this right now have a chance to listen to it, and they're just going to be calling me out. It's just going to be nothing but nope. You're wrong. Nope.
It is pretty awesome. I love the fact that right now, if we throw a question out there, we don't just get somebody like answering. We literally get like with photographs, with links, like, I mean, I don't know, man, that's super cool, because there's like legitimately all these things that we wonder out loud, but it's not. And I know we're lazy. We're clearly lazy, but some things in the Dredd universe, it's not even about being lazy. It's like, how do I comb through all these years of Dredd to find the answers? Because, there is like a Dredd wiki kind of thing that pops up sometimes, but it's not comprehensive by any means.
Well, it's like the Keeper Hag from the last Dredd story. We never would have found the link to that had our listeners not stepped up and gone, here, this is the very obscure thing that it's attached to.
Yeah. So Jim in the chat says he didn't get his Prog yet, but it sounds like the same girl. He didn't even get his Prog yet.
That's a sad state of affairs.
You should have your Prog. I mean, although we can't even get Progs. No, that's not true. We just, it's a whole ordeal. I'm sure that.
Do they even ship them anymore?
Oh, they don't?
I don't think they ship the physical Prog outside of the island.
I mean, I guess you could order on the 2000 AD web shop. I know our shitty comic stores here can't.
Can you imagine the delay? We'd be like a month and a half back at this point.
Well, yeah, even back in our when I was getting them, it wasn't like I was getting, obviously definitely not getting it every week. I was getting big.
And you weren't paying your bills either.
Yeah, I wasn't paying my bills. And then occasionally I'd wander in and my pack would be, they would be on the shelves and they're like, oh yeah, we must not have got them. I'm like, oh, here they are. And 2 are gone. Thank you very much. But hey, now's not the time to air grievances. So this story
it's our podcast. It's always the time to air grievances. I know Festivus is over.
Old acquaintance be forgotten, or whatever the fuck that is. Old acquaintance
along with the lyrics.
Old may all acquaintance. What's an acquaintance?
I can't wait to hear the remix of HMK just saying old in different octaves on this one.
Because when I'm analyzing that song, I'm going like, may all acquaintances be forgotten. It's like, just like, fuck your friends, don't worry about them. I don't know anybody. Are you my grandma?
It's an old song. Ask Titus Defoe about it. It was from his time.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll see what's going on in the next Defoe. What if the next Defoe is called May Old Acquaintance Be Forgotten, or whatever the fuck it is? I don't even know, because
that'd be great, because I can listen to you have a meltdown about it.
Oh, get ready. Hey, if we are assuming this is the same lady who's scooting around on her hoverboard as a courier, what's going on here is it's just like, living in the Big Meg, nothing goes her way, and slowly but surely, oh hey, your customer said that you were rude. Yeah, but I had to go through a block war. Well, you get 2 demerits. Oh hey, by the way, your kid bit somebody. So we are not going to be able to keep your kid in daycare. So now she's flying around with her kid on her back again. And then
now you can't do the
well,
high-speed runs with the kid. So
yeah,
those pay the best. Oh, by the way, you didn't pay your bill, so your dad can't stay here anymore. Dude,
so
this resonated so much with me right now because life is being done to me. I'm not living it. It's being done to me. We got so much shit going wrong left, right, and center. And I'm like, fuck, when's it going to stop raining? Jesus.
Yeah. And that's what this does pretty well is it shows life on life's terms, just tightening its screws. And then you see the inevitable, like life is bad enough. But then when you have Joe Dredd on the other side, who's clearly on a collision course with this person who we very, very much do not want to see anything bad happen to this single mother who's got to take her kid on these hoverboard runs.
I would like to point out the fact that this is not the same Joe that was in the Form Feel Good Christmas Prog, who was admonishing Carl Urban's Dredd about trying to execute perps and not de-escalating the situation. We come in on him punching tickets. And
I'll say, again, it's not my place to make these kind of calls or these kind of judgment, but I think they should have fucking killed that Judge Dredd, that Stallone Dredd. Now, somebody in the chat while we were talking about it did say that would be very 90s, 2080, and they're 100% right. But in that case, I think we needed it. But hey, that's just me, because now he exists in this universe.
He's canonical. He's alternate dimension canonical.
So we're led to believe by the end of this story that she's going to have a run-in with Dredd, and on the final final page, she does. They break up whatever it is that she's transporting, and Judge Dredd is calling all units in to track all of these 5 sky surfers down who are all trying to deliver whatever it is that's in these packages.
It's probably sugar or caffeine, knowing how the mag rolls.
Now, thankfully, Now, thankfully, though, she doesn't have her kid strapped to her back for this one. The kid's at home with the babysitter. But who knows? Is the babysitter her poor, demented old dad?
It's probably all she could afford.
I mean, yeah. So I don't know, man. This is, again, this is what makes a good Dredd story is you take a character who's basically good and struggling with circumstances and you put them on a collision course with Joe, and it always adds to tension because we've seen enough terrible shit from Dredd that nothing's out of bounds. That's why I'm terrified for Chimsky every week.
Page 6, Joe blowing the heads off 3 perps. So like we just come in on that. Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, what happened to the Holly Jolly de-escalation bullshit from the year in Prog, Joe? What the hell?
They do give us a miracle every Christmas, like, because, the whole 3 Kings thing, and like every Christmas Prog, we get they're good enough, and I'm all for it, except for with letting Stallone Dredd live. They do go like, okay, we're going to give you a nice happy ending. So,
next month, we're right back to it. So
yeah, next month we're kicking them in the nuts and nuking them.
Jesus. And like you said, this poor courier is like Curly from the Three Stooges always said, she is a victim of circumstance. Yeah. She has been, the big megas put her in this position. And now she's got to deal with friggin' Holly Jolly Joe here.
And, maybe one of the very, very best quotes ever with regards to this world that we love to spend our time in, Mega City, is, the quote from the Dredd movie. It's all a meat grinder. And it's the whole city. That's what it is. People go in, little chunks of destroyed flesh come out.
I thought you were going to say the best quote from our favorite Dredd movie was, I am the law.
Oh my God. Oh God. Let's move on. Hey, by the way, there's an ad in this week's Prog for Carl the Viking.
Is that the least heroic name for a Viking you ever did hear?
I have never, and I love Treasury of British Comics, man. I think that shit is awesome. I found a lot of cool stuff, but the only thing that I want to read less than Carl the Viking is that little Billy with his magic soccer ball shit. I don't want to read this.
My only cultural reference for Carl is Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Okay.
It is not the most heroic image.
Well, my bend for this one, when I see Carl spelled with a K, is a reference to Carl Buckner from Earth Crisis. So it's either your sloppy next door neighbor or a straight edge Viking who takes all his enemies down in a firestorm of fury. So yeah, man, I maybe it is awesome. Like the book itself looks awesome. I was like, Carl the Viking, come on, man. I don't know.
Let's talk about terrifying hot dog headed men with teeth and our main man, Proteus Vex. And Jim, I know you're listening. We just really want Proteus and Co. to rescue Midnight. And I know you know what happens, and it's killing me not to bother you about this. It is fucking killing me. I've been twisted up since the final Prog of the year, going, oh God, they've got to save her. She can't die there. They've got to save her.
Man. So, it is just not easy. It is just not easy to concentrate on anything else in the Proteus Vex universe when our favorite lady is in jeopardy. She is our favorite 2000 AD character of the past 5 years, I would say at least. And when she's in jeopardy, nobody's happy over here at Cursed Earth Radio. Other than I'm happy that Proteus Vex is back in action. And man, I said it on the last one, and I'll say it on this one. Like, you really definitely feel the changeover. Like, I feel like, that the first chapter, we got all that great Henry Flint art, and I love it. It's fantastic looking world. It felt very chaotic and very indie and very weird. And then that middle chapter had so much of it felt like a transitional chapter, both in story, but also in like the art style and the vibe. And then like for this chapter, it's like we got smacked in the face with the weirdness and the full on, Jake Lynch, spindly hip character style. And it's
I can't stop giggling looking at these hot dog headed teeth mutants. Where's my action figure of these guys?
Right. This is the kind of stuff that I feel like I come to Proteus Vex for, which is like, that you're never ever going to get something normal in terms of what you see. And it's like when you see this, hot dog man with giant chiclet teeth, smoking a cigar, pointing a gun, it's like, to quote Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, it's like death eating a cracker. It's just something you never thought you would see. It's something unnerving.
It's something I never had any idea I wanted until I saw it, and now I want it.
Yeah.
And they're idiots. They seem to be very dumb, which I like. And in my head, the voice they have in my head is very high pitched, which makes them even funnier. Okay. That's just what my brain batched in when I was reading it.
Well, I mean, now you got to give us an example.
I can't, because I got to get real loud to do it, and it's louder than Tom Hanks, and it's going to max every fucking thing out.
Oh, it's louder than Tom Hanks even.
It's louder than Tom Hanks. We're going to clip everything if I do it. But I was just reading this last night, giggling like an idiot because of these hot dog men with teeth.
Yeah. Man, I'm excited that we're getting into a little bit more of the story for the Flesh Pilots and what they can do and how they operate. And I feel like, I've been like intrigued since we met these characters and since we found out that Proteus Vex was a combination of two people. But like, I wanted really badly to know about the Imperium Ascendant. Am I using the right word?
Yes.
About Midnight's race. I wanted to know all about their inner workings, and we kind of like got a good chunk of that. And I've also really, really wanted to know about the Flesh Pilots. And so we get a little bit more information in this one, kind of about this whole idea that it's like this communal memory. And so like, I love like when Vex touches one of these little Flesh Pilots and he says like, he has no idea what the flash of memory means to him, but the little chunk of Baryon Rowe that's inside of him,
screaming that this is important.
Yeah, man, this is very intriguing and very, very super cool. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening that I've been waiting for. I think we've both been waiting for, because like this really at the end of the day is a super it's become a super intriguing story, and it makes me think back to when we had those guys on our Vex episode, which again we have to do a part 2 of that. But when we had them on, and basically Michael Carroll had said, like I basically wrote a pretty, normal-ish kind of story, and then everything, the window dressing on it is just super weird. And now we're starting to get, though, to the point where a lot of the interesting quirks of these aliens are coming out in the story. And like this idea of like, it's very intriguing, is like, what is Vex? Who is Vex? We don't know. That's a whole nother deal.
I like the fact that we got to see multiple flesh pilots for the first time together, and that they all look different. Like their markings are all different. Just little things like that. Like you can still see the hand in Jake's art and Jim's colors. It feels organic and real, because a lot of stuff that comes out is what can be over processed to the point where it doesn't even seem like a human did it. It's too perfect. I like to see the hand in the work, and that's something you tend to lose when it's all digital anymore. And this does a really good job of retaining that kinetic energy that you get when everything's not perfect.
Yeah, and I was wondering, I've been wondering about these flesh pilots, and sort of, it's the same stuff that we wondered about Vex before, which was like, does his clothing that he wears indicate some sort of rank? What do his symbols mean? And I was wondering the same about the flesh pilot, So is it, for me, it's like, okay, with these flesh pilots, is there some sort of indication of rank? They all wear this same spandex Tron suit kind of deal here. And it's like, what function does that have? There's still a ton of questions that I have about these little dudes.
I thought they were just all big fans of early 80s hip hop. They're just rocking their tracksuits.
I feel like of the characters in Proteus Vex, I feel like the flesh pilots have the most Jack Kirby DNA.
Very much. They're like, they could be second cousins with the Black Racer.
Yeah.
It would make complete sense. I think you and I need to go to a con dressed as flesh pilots and just confuse the shit out of everybody.
Oh man, could we handle the bulge though? That's
Nigel Tufnell, man. You just go Nigel and you put a tube sock in your pants.
True. That's true.
As our heroes have done before us.
Well, side note, so my bandmates and I once for one Halloween actually went as the Fantastic Four.
I remember that. That was awkward.
It was. There was, like that was the first time that, the number one concern before going out of the house was, how can I make sure that my penis isn't showing? Usually that's number 2 to 3 on the list
for you.
So our and as Jim is also lamenting the death of our hot dog flavored people that died here. It is this tragedy because they had a cool backstory, and I know I'll say this for Chelsea, who's in the chat, who does not have a 2000 AD subscription yet.
Unacceptable.
We're talking, now's the time to read, because we're talking about hot dog shaped men with teeth. They were clones of an original hot dog shaped man who was going to use them to commit crimes. He would commit crimes, but then they couldn't be arrested because they could never prove who it was. So they just killed him and went about their merry way as bounty hunters.
And none of that makes any sense unless you can see the hot dog shaped men with teeth.
Yeah. Hey, and you know who we didn't mention, who are just as cool and weird, are these little conquistador guys.
I love that this it seems like an allegory to modern culture and the dum-dums who think they have all the answers, and they will not accept anything to the contrary. Like when they're Vex and Co are going down to the planet, and Vex is telling her they don't even believe in extraterrestrial life. And Co says, we're clearly not from their biosphere. Yeah. And Vex said something like, oh yeah, I understand. But they will just deny it, and they are convinced that they have all the answers. And I went, oh my God, it's us. It's us that they're talking about us. It
is us, yeah. That is 2000 AD. 2000 AD is a mirror, not a window.
And of course, they land on this backwards Dark Ages medieval planet. And I'm like, oh, it's us. It's us.
Yeah.
It's us.
So yeah, man, Proteus Vex is at a place right now where it left us hanging once again, worrying about our favorite lady, our perfect space princess Midnight. And until if they kill Midnight in this thing, man, if they kill Midnight in this thing, I'm gonna have to go into a period of mourning. I'm just gonna have to go into a period of mourning.
I'm gonna shout a lot of words.
Yes. Like when the last time I remember being literally, well, before reading this prog, kind of shocked was, of course, in Red Razors, when I was just incredibly attached to that horse and they murdered him.
It's when Ed goes down that gets your heartstrings pulled.
Yeah, I remember thinking, like, did I just gasp out loud when a talking horse died? Yes.
In your defense, Ed's demise comes out of nowhere and is apropos of nothing.
Yeah. And hey, why is there not enough? There should be more love for Red Razors, man. I
really liked it. But I remember in my early days of fandom in the early 90s seeing the ads for it coming. Like that and Emerald Isle. And I have yet to read Emerald Isle. But those two stories were the ones getting all the press in like the Fleetways that I was getting at the time. I know you love my Fleetways. But that was always like the back cover ad or the back page ad. You know, the back interior page ad was like Red Razors is coming. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Seems it was nothing. I had spent 20 years wondering what that was about. And it was like nothing I thought it was about.
No. And you know, I feel like Red Razors, the title alone is intriguing and cool enough that it makes you immediately want to read it.
And then you get a talking horse.
Definitely wasn't what you think it's going to be. And same thing with every 2000 AD. It's not what you think it's going to be, you know, but yeah, I don't get maybe they hyped it too much, but I've heard a lot of people say they didn't really like it, but I'm a big fan of Red Razors, man. I think I
enjoyed it. I'd like to see Razors come back at some point, you know?
And, you know, also let's go ahead and face the facts though. I think because we didn't necessarily grow up with it, our idea is skewed because we're over here with the fucking IDW Mega City 2 in our top 10s.
Oh yeah. And you know, I saw Chelsea was buying all the IDW stuff. And I said, I absolutely love what they did with the Dark Judges. I love their take on it. I really enjoyed their take on Cal because they told the story, but they didn't retell the story. They did their own version of it. You know, they didn't just one for one everything. They put their own little spin on it. Cal gets reborn in a midget clone at some point. It's friggin' hilarious. I like that about our Dredd fandom. We're not locked into any preconceptions. You know, our gate is pretty wide open.
We're out here on a fucking island, that's for sure.
Self-imposed or otherwise.
Hey, and I'll tell you one thing that's not self-imposed this week for me, and that is the Order, because I didn't fucking read it.
I've read it. My ritual is I get to Prog, I do a first read, and then later that night I'll read it right again before I go to bed.
Oh.
And I got to the Order the second time and went, I'm not fucking reading this again. I just, so folks, if you're tuning in to this podcast for coverage of the Order, guess what? Here's the coverage of all 8 or however many weeks of this. We didn't read it. I don't care. I tried. I got nothing. I'm not even going to drag myself. I'm not going to be Judge Dredd in the, what was that with the fucking demon child? That thing, the nightmare, whatever. I'm not going to drag myself through broken glass and rocks with no eyes just to read this. It ain't worth it. It ain't working for me, brother. I tried. Doesn't mean it's a bad story. It just, I got nothing for this.
Yeah, no, that's again, like the people involved in this fucking KEKW, John Burns, Simon Boland. We got no issues with any of the stuff going on. I remember when we saw this, we were like, yeah, the art's kind of cool, but I'm a dummy and I don't know who anyone is. I almost had a meltdown because I thought I had no idea somebody was, whether they were Francis Bacon.
Wait, what do you mean almost had a meltdown? Fucking back that truck up, son.
Yo, I don't know who's out there reading the order, but I'll tell you what, if you would like to come on, if you would like to read the order and
send in your review.
Yeah, send in your review. We'll make you a part of the show, man. It's just
we will clip it in right here.
Yeah.
Here, I like read it the first time, and I was like, okay, Ghost Ships. There's Ghost Horse, and I got to the last page of it and said, why are Rosie O'Donnell and Whoopi Goldberg on a ship? And okay,
I thought that was the singer for Attack Attack, not Rosie O'Donnell.
I thought it was Rosie O'Donnell and Whoopi Goldberg doing some weird buddy cop period piece. I don't care. It's too history for me. I jumped in way too late. I got nothing.
Yeah, and this is maybe the first time in a while that I've just not read something in the Prog.
We've never skipped a story.
Yeah.
In the 2 years we've been doing this, and we both went, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
But like I said, if somebody's into the order, awesome. Send it a review, man. That'd be super cool.
I'm happy anybody's reading anything in the Prog, because that means somebody's reading the Prog.
Yeah. And when you buy the Prog, it gives you the right to only read the parts you want. So there we go.
You've got all of my money. I'm going to pick and choose the middle bits. So don't worry. So, Kingmaker, I completely forgot about that it was in the year in Prog, and I had to go back and kind of figure it out. I still don't know. I know we're world building here. I don't know which way is up, which way is down. And then there's another David Bowie analog from the future in space.
Yeah.
There's some shit going on. I'm hoping all will be revealed, because I like the art.
I got very I guess we could say, like, as I was reading it, I was just kind of going through. It has artwork wise, tone wise, there's a little bit of that Feral and Foe, which we've just fallen in love with, obviously. But by the time we got to the end, and now we've got a space station, I was like, all right, here we go. And there's a space station, and the girl from Die Antwoord in some sort of weird costume. So that's even more interesting.
This story went quickly from like a Manowar song to a Dragon Force song at the end. It was a real hard tonal shift that I was not expecting. I don't know who anybody is. I don't know where anybody's from. I don't know where we're going. That's a terrible haircut on our man here at the end, and his it's glowy armor. I can't tell gender. I'm not going to misgender. I don't know what the fuck's happening. Their
glowy armor. I don't think it is a good way to go if you're trying.
I don't know what's happening. I'm so sorry. I don't know what this is. They, them.
So here's how you don't do it, guys.
Send all your hate mail to Auto Sump.
I don't know whether you're male or female. I'll call you it. That's probably the worst way to go.
It might not even be a thing. Like
you said it. Oh my God.
Oh God. Now we're the nice who say me now. I want to know.
You just became alt-right. What happened?
Oh no. I want to know what's going on. I'm confused. I want to include everybody. I don't know what's happening in the comic book.
Right. Let's just get out of this whole Kingmaker thing and go to the out.
Oh my God, what happened? What happened? How did this happen?
Oh my God. Yo, man, I don't know about you, but I did not realize how emotionally connected I was to this character until I read this issue.
There's no coming back, right?
Oh my God.
She is part of the Tankinar now, or the Tankinar is part of her, and vice versa.
God damn it, dude.
Did not see this coming at all.
No, did not see this coming. And Dan Abnett is a fucking god amongst men when it comes to writing these stories with these twists and turns. And, we've spent so much time with Sid, with this character, going through her, like, very existential. What does it mean to be human connection, these adventures that we never signed up for and never thought we would be interested in. And
but there's more.
Yes. we go through all of that, and I did not realize that basically what was happening, as you know, as we went through the many fucking issues of the out we've been through, is that I was forming a pretty big emotional connection with this character. And what we're seeing right now is fucking nightmarish. This is a nightmare.
I can't even. I'm sorry. I'm eating popcorn while we're podcasting because I'm professional. Like, there's no way home now, and to boot, she's got an ABBA playlist on loop in her murder bot forever.
I was reading it, and my wife was in the room, and she read on my face that I was reading. She was like, "Are you gonna cry?" And I was like, "No, I was like, I just don't know how to feel about this." And for anybody who's not read this one, or for whatever reason and is interested, what happens in this is, out of nowhere, you know, last issue, Sid got spit out of her bag into the middle of this desolate, war-torn planet that the Tankanar have ravaged. And this thing that, you know, she's been considered contaminated, and we thought she was pregnant, and in a way she was, but in so many ways she had a dormant Tankanar inside of her, and you know, it bonded to her. And so, as my esteemed co-host said, she is in and is part of a murder machine, and she's just basically audience to, you know, she is murdering people, and she's connected with every fiber, every nerve, and she's just gone from this very hippie sort of you know, benign person,
Bohemian lady. Yeah, now she's forced to partake in atrocities.
It's basically the equivalent to, you know, being enlisted in the SS during World War II against your own will. And you know, man, the artwork in this is breathtaking and amazing, and the Tankanar are just absolutely terrifying, and it's got that awesome quality that some of the Defoe stuff had, where you don't know, sometimes you don't even know what you're looking at, but it gives you a very specific vibe and feeling, and
you know, it's not good, whatever is happening.
Yeah.
And it was so jarring, because at no point did either of us think that this could possibly be an end.
No, and you know, they really almost was like a bait and switch, where it's kind of like, you know, we've seen Sid again. She's just been very flitzy and benign, and she, you know, we joke about her being kind of dorky and ugly, you know, and it's just like every week, what's she doing this week, you know, just being quirky. But it's like it has this very like atrocious sort of feel to it when all of a sudden she's put through this as somebody who never would have deserved it. And you know, she's got this internal monologue, and she's saying like, I didn't want to resist, but I can't. I want to resist, but I can't, because there's nothing to resist with. There's just kill. There's no other option. And you know, she's going through it, but it's like, you know, my favorite line, I gotta find it here. She says, it's not even plausible. I'm sorry, it's not even pleasurable. I'm not consumed by some homicidal glee at what I'm doing. And then she goes on to say, I'm just cold. I'm cold like a gun, as emotional as the casing of a bomb. I can't close my eyes. I can't look away. I don't want to see this. Don't make me see what I'm doing. And, you know, it's like, it's just this, you know, this fucking nightmarish sort of end. And where does it, you know, this character has been through so many things. You know, the character arc and what she's been through, like, it's almost like every single season, every single you know, chapter that we get, it like evolves this character to a point where she's never going to be the same. And I don't know, man. Dan Abnett,
now quite literally never going to be the same, unfortunately.
Yeah. Who will come and save her? Who, I don't know.
Can she be saved? Because she rattles off that her bag had told her that once the tank and our bond with an organic, that there's no salvaging that organic component. It's forever part of the machine. So yeah, I gasped. I was horrified because Sid is our friend. She's our quirky bohemian friend that comes into town every now and then and says hi, and we love her because she's her and she's out there living her best life. And then like just this.
Yeah. And it changes a lot, you know, like, cause like ever since the beginning, I've always got the feeling that, you know, at first we didn't really know what this was, and we kept trying to predict where it was going on some space adventure, blah, blah, blah. She's going to be a freedom fighter. No, it ended up being a story about human connection, what it means to be human, what it means to feel like you belong. And we went through all of that stuff. And now with this turn of events, I'm sitting here going like, I don't know what this is going to be about by the end of it. Maybe it'll still be about those things, but I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, this is something that, you know, she's going to have to reckon with. And again, with Dan Abnett behind the wheel of this, I just feel so confident that we're going to get something very meaningful and important. And that's me you know, Dan Abnett and the Progs. I've gotten a lot from his stories, but I've also experienced the greatness, which is Dan Abnett, the Warhammer saga stuff, the stuff that he did for the Horus Heresy. And like, I saw this guy as a writer turn these demigods who were completely like humanless. I found him make me care about them and find ways to have me relate to them through other characters. And so I have no doubt that wherever we go with this is going to be something incredible. This might be one of the best things in the Prog in a very, very long time. And it's so much against my fucking will that I say that, because it's like, I didn't want this. I didn't even want this.
We shouldn't be here. Like, nothing about this story says, oh, HMK and Cool Johnny Cool will love this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm as confused as you.
Yeah. But it is great. This story is like just about to reach greatness. And there's like, for the fact that the Order is here in this Prog, I'm still super happy with where the Prog is, because we're back in Vexland. We're back with this story. Dredd's generally always good. And we've got a kind of a promising Kingmaker out here too. Once it went to space, my attention span broadened just a little bit. So
they pushed your button.
It did, yeah.
We could have left the Order out and got an extra chapter of Proteus in there, or an extra chapter of Brink.
Or how about we just, you know, since it's the first of the year, you know, it's the first episode of the year. Let's just go ahead and say it now. If Tharg, if you're listening, bring back Red Road.
Please, it's only been 3 years.
We have not forgotten. You're fucking up by not allowing whoever wrote that to flesh it out and give you a nice like 12 chapter run on that. That had so much potential. The artwork was cool. The characters looked awesome. Bring back Red Road.
And tell Pat Mills to do a new Defoe, please, if we're putting in requests.
We'll take that too.
Yeah. So, hey, it's good to be back. New Year, same dumb us. That's the end of the show. So here is the first closing wiener of 2022.
First closing wiener.
Wiener.
Was that? Wait. It was one more.
Wiener.
2 wieners for the price of one.